Creating a Minecraft map is easier than you think, and today I'm going to prove that based on my experience on making Five Nights at Florial's 1 and 2. So it's basically going to be my experience making them, but not diving deep on the topic, just scratching the surface. So if you guys want me to create a video going into depth on that, well, you can suck your thumb, because I'm not planning on going back to Minecraft map making ever again. But more on that later, because now it's time to strap up, grab a bag of popcorn, because it's going to take a while, and enjoy. Five Nights at Florial's 1 wasn't my first ever map created, and you might already know that if you read the description before downloading the map. Actually, my first ever map was an overcomplicated mystery map, but I never got to finish it because of one problem that dates back to all my previous projects. That problem being the planning phase. Let me explain. Creating a Minecraft map wasn't actually my first time creating a quote-unquote game. I have tried a lot of things since I was little. The Scratch program, for example, was my first one, since my school literally had a class just to make and learn on it. But the one I really liked was, believe it or not, Clickty. Yes, the same engine Scott Coffin used to create FNAF 1 to 7. But no, I wasn't making FNAF fan games. I actually wanted to create a simulacra-inspired game called Welcome User 370, but I never got to finish it because of my limited knowledge about the engine and, again, lack of a planning phase. And that also happened when trying to create another game, this time on Minecraft. But I'm not going to explain further because I have like 10 plus projects with the same problem. So if you guys want a video about it, just leave in the comments. If this video gets 3 likes, I'll think about it. But now, back to the main topic. So, for Five Nights at Florial's, I was really nervous about making the same mistake all over again. So I set 2 rules that I follow to this day, and they are the following. Always make a planning phase with a lot of detail and discuss the idea with someone more experienced than you. And the second one is, don't leave the planning phase while you aren't 100% sure that every single thing is documented and ready to start producing. And, surprisingly, they worked out great, because I finally got to finish a project for the first time in my life. The feeling that I got was better than I could ever describe. It was like when you complete the hardest thing in your bucket list. But, to summarize, I was really happy about it, and spent like 1 week listening to the song We Are the Champions from Queen. Warning. From now on, the video will contain spoilers for the map Five Nights at Florial's 1 and 2. So if you didn't have the chance to play them, please, give them a shot. The links are in the description. After playing those, you can come back to the video. And now, with that out of the way, let's continue. At this point, I already had written everything I wanted the map to be in paper, but I had a huge problem in this project. I didn't know Minecraft commands that well to create quote-unquote good code, so the code was overcomplicated for really simple things. One of the many examples of this was the code to clean the floors and windows. I mean, look at this mess. The idea here was that if the block wasn't there, it would do something in the code. But the way I did it was too overly complex, which led to my inability to add a restart function in the map. I mean, in comparison to my last map, Five Nights at Florial's 2, where I recycled the same idea of cleaning the floor, this is the code for one of them. It's only 3 blocks long, while this one is like 5 or 6! Like, what kind of drugs was I when I made this? Just for those who are curious about what I did, it's really simple actually. So instead of tracking a block that will be destroyed, I just tracked the air that will be replaced by after the block being bricked, which makes the code extremely easy to replicate. Aside from this problem, there was another that, if you played the game, you might already know what it is. That is the voice acting. It was too painful to hear in its entirety because of me just making errors and errors while talking and keeping that in the final cut. This was made with the intention of making the phone call seem more natural, like if you were talking to someone over the phone. But that clearly didn't work as I intended. And even now, I can't stand to hear my own rant when I replayed the map for this video. But I want to give a huge shout out to Pokey3Bells because when he made a video about the map, he sat through every single audio without skipping anything, not even Night 3 cutscene. Not only that, but he also made the true ending and listened to my final rant in its entirety. So, my guy, you are the king. Here, take your crown. You deserve one. And I also want to give a shout out to Appleguy for passing through the whole map and making the true ending in a video where he was supposed to play 3 different FNAF fan maps, and mine was the one that took the spotlight when it wasn't supposed to. And for that, I'm very thankful. And he also gave me some constructive criticism on which was taken into consideration when making the second game. And for that, I must give you my sincerest thank you for helping me make the second map a better version of itself. Anyways, the map is over. I don't think I will make a second part, unless the map gets famous, but my expectations are not high. Yeah, so this was true until one of my good friends that goes by the name of SimonStache played the first map and gave me an incentive to work on a second. But he actually was the one that suffered the most, since he was voice acting for my map while making game tests on said map, while working on his projects and YouTube channel. So, for all your work and time, I must give you my sincerest thank you. Without you, the game would be a lot different. And talking about that, you should check out his YouTube channel. He has some great editing skills, and he has real talent, unlike me. Anyways, making the second map was not an easy feat, since, fun fact, it took almost a year to make it, and it still has a lot of bugs that I don't know how to solve. But a lot has changed since the first map to this one. The code, for example, is one of those things. It's a lot bigger, yes, but it's not overly complicated like in the first map. That's one of the reasons why I could make a restart system here, and why I could and made a lot more things in here. That's why I added dream sequences, to test my new skills to the max, to learn more and do more things out of the box. One of my favorite dreams to make was Fear, or the last dream that is meant to be played, because it was inspired on Night 6 in my first map, and also the game The Joy of Creation. But anyways, that made me prove to myself that I could do it, and could have done it better, but one question must be answered. Why a bunker?
It's a 5 nights game in the sense that there are 5 nights that you have to go into like a food restaurant and fix things, but it was much more sister location than it was like...
This is why. Why in hell was my first map inspired on sister location? Of all games! Seriously, why? I'd had heavy inspiration on the Joy of Creation and FNAF Doom, not sister location. So that's why I made a bunker. So now they could say that the map was inspired by sister location. And actually be right. And the worst part is, I'm not even joking. This wasn't planned at all. The first idea for the second game was actually a maze/puzzle/horror mix, where the character would be in a maze-like place while being hunted by animatronics, and to pass to the next level you needed to complete a puzzle. But the idea was kicked out because my good friend SimonStache said the idea was too simple, so you can thank him for making the second game what it is now. Of all the nights that the map has, my favorite is probably the 5th or 6th night. They were a breath of fresh air from the other nights, and making them was really fun. But now that I think about it, the 6th night is probably the one, since it obligated me to create a lot of new scenarios, new mechanics, and new locations. But the remaking of the old map was probably my favorite part, that and the cave system. I really enjoyed making those, since giving detail on those is easier than a normal room. And that's all I have to say about the second map. I wasn't planning to go more in depth because the video will get longer, and now people don't like long videos, and also because I don't want to explain every single system that there is to explain. But if you guys would like a video like that, just leave it in the comments below. So, with that all being said, is creating a Minecraft map easier? Well, the short answer is yes. Since the writing of this script, I've been learning Unreal Engine 5, and let me tell you, from Minecraft to Unreal, it's a big step. From having already the models done, just needing retexturing, to making the models myself, giving it texture and also making the core mechanics, Yeah, it's a big one for sure. So, I would say that in Minecraft is easier because you already have everything you need to start creating, and you just need an idea and a way to make it happen. While in other game engines, you have that and also the making of the core mechanics to fit the idea put in place. But I know what you might say. Minecraft may already have the core mechanics, but you'd also become limited by those same mechanics. And to that, I must say that you are 100% wrong. Well, I was initially going to agree, but after watching some videos of this guy here, nah bro, you can create anything you like in here. You just need to know how to, and you can make it happen. And this guy here knows what I'm talking about. So with that being said, why did I switch from creating Minecraft maps to creating games on Unreal? Well, that's easy. I just wanted to get away from Minecraft, to create something different using other tools. In other words, I wanted a challenge, and that came in the form of learning Unreal. And to make it more interesting, I also wanted to report back my progress through a YouTube channel. So, if you liked this video, and you would like to see my journey in Unreal, you should watch my next video on the channel, where I create my first horror game in Unreal Engine 5 for my good friend SimonStache. So, I have been Void, and I will see you next time.